Okay. It turns out there's a little go live button. All right. It's good to have you here. I've been doing the show for 5 fucking minutes. Let me get rid of the audio. It turns out there's a little go live button. All right. It's good to have you here. I've been doing the show for 5 fucking minutes. Let me get rid of the audio. It turns out there's a little go live button. All right. Show good to have you here. There we go. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Colin's audience. Thank you, Colin and Dustin and Chris and Brad, for sending your delightful folks over here. Yeah, there's a little button you got to press to go live, and I kind of shat the bed on that. I apologize. What did you guys think? We're going to be talking today about State of Play a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, because it wasn't very goddamn good. It wasn't. Now, again, I understand this is a show that is for the Japanese audience within reason, but I'm watching it and I'm kind of going, I don't know if the Japanese audience would be looking at that and going, oh, yeah, man, I'm excited for my PS5 and my new PlayStation branded monitor they announced. So, you know, there were some okay things, but it was, you know, and again, not that Sony needs anything. Obviously, in Japan, they do, but in America, it's not going to make a difference. People are still going to buy those things in droves. I will say, though, we talked about this yesterday, man. I was over on the Nintendo Christmas wish list gift guide, man, and it felt like old school console game time. I mean, I understand that, but I mean, Xbox has moved so far afield of that, and PlayStation's moved so far afield of that to actually go to their site and go, holy shit, they've put out 7 brand new first-party games for the Switch in less than a year, and I'm looking at that going, I'm starting to get the itch to want one of these pieces of hardware, because I hadn't bought it yet, but I'm still a little bit on the fence. I think it's going to be a Zelda that comes out, and that's going to make me pull the trigger. I don't know if you saw today that they put out what was it? They put out like a little Zelda Lego. And at first I'm like, holy shit, are they announcing a Zelda Lego game? Which, you know, they kind of already have with the 2.5D. What was the Zelda that came out where you played her? Love that game last year. Oh, it was excellent. I didn't even remember the title was, but it was a great fucking game. But no, it looks like it's just going to be more Lego sets, is all. So, yeah, I bought mine for Zelda that will, day one says Reckless Guess. Yeah, no, I hear you. Thank you for the donation. I don't know the inside joke, Lowell Kazi, but I appreciate it. Thank you, pal. Very kind, very generous, very courteous. But overall, I mean, I don't know what to tell you about the State of Play. We'll go through the titles briefly. And I mean fucking ever so briefly, because there wasn't much to talk about, really. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there'll be something on second look. But then we're also going to get a little bit into Arc Raiders today. We're going to get into some controversy surrounding the Game Awards. We're going to talk about. I may watch this video. You guys coming over here from Colin's channel, and if you're just part of our community, you know Colin. Smash JT is still putting out videos. Like today, I'll just show you the only reason I click it. I don't follow this guy. But they served up this thumbnail on my Twitter or somewhere on YouTube. Oof. Sony officially announces Ghost of Yote numbers. Yeah, bitch, 3.3 million. So I got to at least watch a little bit of that video. We'll be watching that. We'll be taking your phone calls as well. That'll be coming up in just a little bit. Gene is not out today. Gene does the show with me on Wednesday, and he does the show with me on Friday. We do a different show, which is kind of a more intellectual show. This is kind of just, you know, me being a jackass and hanging out with you guys. Jay Styles, thank you so much for donating to Frank Last, a David Jaffe gift membership. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, pal. Hello, Anna Downpour, Anna G, good to see you. And, of course, Tech Protect up there donating as well. Let me see if I can get, I was hoping I could get y'all's text on screen with this new system, but it ain't working, so fuck it. C. Skelton, member for 40 months here, says, big ups, player. Right back to you, sir. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We appreciate it very much. The only thing I'll say about Arc Raiders, which I am loving. I am loving the game. I am not a multiplayer guy for the most part. I am not an extraction player. boy, this is a really fucking good game. I don't know if it's going to be this big. I saw somebody on Twitter today saying, you know, this is kind of a once in a generation kind of Fortnite thing. I think maybe they're putting the horse before the cart there a little bit. It might be this new generation's PUBG though. Like I remember when PUBG first came out and I was still working at Bartlett Jones and everybody on the team was losing their shit and saying, this is the next big thing. This is amazing. And it was great, but it took Fortnite to kind of, you know, cut off some of the rough edges, blah, blah, blah. But whatever its success trajectory, what I will tell you is it is fucking good and it is very accessible. And if you are a member, we'll probably be doing a members Arc Raiders night coming up pretty soon. We would love to play with you. In a filthy way. This is a way it's not nice. But I like this guy's tweet though. And I put up a video earlier today about the what's the goddamn thing? The Eurogamer review, which, you know, the guy said some correct things in it, but it shouldn't have been a review. And it's a little short-sighted, but whatever. He has a right to review it however the fuck he wants to review it. And he's getting shit and things, and rightly so. I'm sure he knows he was going to get shit, whatever. But here's the tweet. I just thought this was really, really funny. Eurogamer tweets out, for Arc Raiders to ride the wave of human sociability all the way to the bank while also being so contemptuous of the thing that makes us social animals in its own workflow demonstrates a lack of artistic integrity that I find impossible to ignore. This tells you all you need to know about the state of internet discourse, because while I agree that the 2 out of 5-star review is not a great thing, even though the guy has a right, Hutch MF tweets, using big words don't make you right, moron. I can't really identify what is the big word in there, Hutch. I mean, really? This tells us all we need to fucking know. It tells us all we need to fucking know. There was, yes, Turtle Rabbit Fox says the Reggie interview today was good. We might look at that as well. There was a Reggie Fils-Aimé interview that came out today talking about what he thinks about the state of the Switch 2 and various things like that. We might get into that if there's time. KP says Hutch saw the word social and thought, wow, this is gay. I mean, I don't have to tell you. There's Tech Protect. Tech, don't spend your goddamn money. You guys can spend your money on gift memberships and shit. I really appreciate it. But Tech doesn't need to do it. But Protoss has gotten himself a shiny new membership. I defend his right to hate the AI, says Steve Johnson. I defend his right too. He has absolutely every right to say what he said about the game. And even though I don't think it was a very well thought out piece, and I explain why in my video, he certainly, I'm like, yeah, he had some good points. But again, the bigger point of this is just like, dude, what? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And I think the real person to blame here is the fucking editor. Unless the editor was just like going, dude, we just need to make some money and this will get some clicks and fuck it, I don't care. I'm on the way out anyway. That's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing I can think of, because this review should not have gone to press, print, whatever. Digital XP says that state of play was awful. I mean, yeah, considering what was expected and what fans have come to expect, it was pretty terrible. The thumbnail on this very stream is the chicken or rooster of the Aloy rooster, but are the roosters the girls? I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is it's the Aloy rooster. And I was like, oh, because the rumor was they were going to show the, is it Nexon is doing it or whatever? NCSoft is doing it with Sony, the service-based, or at least one of the service-based Horizon games. And I don't even like Horizon, but I'm like, okay, well, that'll be kind of a neat reveal. It was really shit. I'm kind of like going, who was that for? I mean, I guess it was for their partners, right? It's like contractually, but okay, fine. But I don't think, I mean, I'll show you briefly. We'll scan through the games, and there wasn't anything wrong with them. And there may be some great games in here that people fall in love with, but you know, there's a Dragon Quest remaster. This looked cool. The One Store game, which kind of looks like a bunch of games over on, you know, Steam and itch.io where you're running a convenience store. I mean, okay. Coffee Talk Tokyo, fine. Fatal Frame 2 remake excites me because I love horror and I've never played it, but it just looked like kind of, okay. There's Mariah Carey. She wasn't there, but there's Mariah Carey. She does not look like that. There is no way. How old is Mariah Carey? She's got to be sick. Well, she's got to be like 58. She don't look like that. Dynasty Warriors. I don't give a shit. I can't handle any more of those Mizu games. Bandai DLC footage coming out for Katamari, which, you know, looks good. Digimon, whatever, Super Robot Wars, and then, of course, putting out DLC for Elden Ring, whatever, their Nightgale or Night Rain. I loved Elden Ring, my favorite game of all time, but I didn't want to play the DLC because I heard it was just too difficult. You know, really nothing. There was a couple of cool things, right? There was like there was like a little robot game that looked kind of like you have to find the path. It looks like a fun little indie game. Broken Lore Unfollow, another horror game. Broken Lore Ascend, another horror game. I love horror, so I'll check them out. But then they had Gran Turismo, whatever. Monster Hunter Wilds, whatever. I'm not saying that like, fuck it, who gives a shit? I'm just saying that, you know, you're already in or you're out on those. And it was nothing that special, that sexy. Night, Super Monkey Ball, SpongeBob characters joined Sonic Racing. I love Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, but I'm not playing it. I'm too busy playing other things. I don't know how that's doing. Whatever, you know, Octopath. I thought, obviously, this game, Marvel Tokon, looks amazing, but I probably won't play it. I'm more excited for Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which is coming out next month, just because I can play those games. I can't really play hardcore fighting games. They also there were a couple of little smaller games. One was from the guys that do Blaze Blue that looks like it's sort of a Metroidvania. That looked pretty good. And there was another game that looked like Hollow Knight. But what I thought was cool about it is there was one point where the character can connect with the environment and eat the environment, I guess. And then as it moves, it starts spitting out blocks of the environment that you can platform on. And I don't really know how much of that is a gimmick level or if that's a core mechanic. I have no clue. But there's definitely some games that you would say, oh, okay, I'm down for that. But nothing about that was really got me all that excited. So it was just like whatever. It's like whatever. See, I don't get that, Necro. Necro says state of play seemed good for the market it was aimed at. I don't know if that's true, man. I don't know if Japanese people are watching that going, holy shit, you know what I want to play is a remaster of, you know, I don't fucking, you know, Octopath or whatever. It's maybe, but, hey, by the way, Dr. Gonzo, which I think is Awesome Tatum. I'm not sure. 43 months been a member here at the show. We appreciate it. He says, hey, Jaffe, hope you're well and good to be back. Absolutely. Good to have you back, sir. The guy who was Entropy Effect. Yes, Entropy Effect was the side scroller with the Blaze Blue characters still ran. I don't know if that game is rogue or not. They had a little moment where these 3 cards popped up, which kind of suggests that it might be, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it really was not a great show for me. I walked away going, okay, okay, wait, Entropy Effect is already on PC? Hang on. Oh, you're talking about the guy, Japanese Mr. Rogers, the guy who hosted it? I used to think that was just a Nintendo thing, but that kind of very like, it was very goofy. And I don't know if they were copying the Nintendo Directs or if they were just kind of like, that's just how presenters are in Japan. I have no idea. Since Logic says, I just finished watching the State of Play. I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but let's change the goddamn subject unless you guys want to stay on this one, because what else is there to say? Yeah, it sounds like it is a rogue entropy effect, and it's also on Steam. Let's see what the reviews are. Let's see what the reviews are. Entropy effects X Steam. All right, Blaze Blue entropy effect. Wait, that's a merge. Hang on, here we go. People seem to like it. It's very positive. It'll cost you $20. Came out last year. It's been out for over almost going on 2 years. This thing's been out. And that's something. I mean, this is what I'm telling you guys. Again, get a PC, don't get a PC, do what you want with your fucking life. But what I will tell you is, God, you get games sooner on PC for the most part, and you get so much more variety. The fact that this has been out for 2 years, I wouldn't have known it. And somebody in the chat is like, oh, it's been out for a while. I'm like, fuck, really? It's not a Blaze Blue game. It's not a fighting game. It is a, it's a Metroidvania roguelike kind of thing. But, there you go. So, speaking of consoles, here's the rumor. Hello, Rural. The rumor is that Steam is announcing something this week. They were saying they might announce it today. That's kind of cool, though. You can pick all of those characters to go on the adventure. It's not just like one main in the world of Blaze Blue. I'll check it out. Yeah, it is a rumor. It is a total rumor about the Steam thing, but I want to show it to you anyway. Because it's cool, man. I've been a big fan of Steam. It's not just the new controller. Here is a leaked image of the new controller that Steam is apparently going to be putting out and announcing today or this week. The new Steam controller will look like this when it launches, it says. I'm told it can detect how far your hands are from the handles using a simple CapSense feature similar to the index controllers, but not full finger tracking in the grips. Okay, whatever. It's an AI picture. I don't know if it's real, but there are a lot of... Okay, so Machine says this is being announced tomorrow. But the other thing that's more exciting is the rumor is that they will be announcing either a new VR headset, which I don't really care about, and I can't believe people are still making those, or their console. And I know they've put out a console before. Things might be a little bit more interesting now to put this out, because now these guys are coming in when everything is a PC for the most part. And I don't know how much they're going to charge for it if it is a console. But think about that for a moment. Like, you put that out in this environment, and let's say it comes out, because my understanding, if I remember, when they announced the Steam Deck, you could pre-order it that day of the announcement. And I think it was on the market, at least the initial send-outs, like 2 months later, 3 months later. I don't know if it'll be ready for Christmas, but, I mean, it's hard. If you say, hey, here's a console that basically is a PC that hooks up to your TV, and look at all these fucking games you can play, including your PlayStation PC games, including Xbox, including Game Pass. That's pretty cool. Since Logic says, did you read Alyssa Mercante's Guardian article? About what? Yeah, I hope it's not Machine, their headset. They've been working on one. I hope not. Why would you get a console instead of a PC, even if it is Steam? Only because, I'll show you stuff on my bookmark. I'll show you in a second. Remind me. Only because there are people that like to play in front of the TV. There are people that like to play on the couch, and they don't want a PC and all that comes with it. That would be why. So Machine says, no, it wouldn't run Game Pass native. Well, you could still get the games from Microsoft, but you're saying Xbox would just not put Game Pass on it. I guess you can still run Game Pass, or at least in the cloud, through a website. But you're right. You can't run the actual app itself. Yeah, that makes sense. I thought I wouldn't care that Halo is going to PlayStation, but honestly, it's weird it's going to PlayStation. I think it's great. I mean, I really think it's great. I'm tired of all this exclusive horse shit. More people to fill up the lobbies, more people to play the games. Isn't that what we really want? Come on now. Come the fuck on now. Okay, I'll show you whatever folder you want, man. But I do want to show you this. This was a clip from Shroud, who I don't watch, but I know he's a real popular game streamer. He's playing Arclight. This is what he says. It's only 32 seconds long, so don't be a baby. Settle in. Watch this with me. Here we go.
Hey, bro, Expedition 33's Game of the Year. Actually play the fucking game before berating it. Fuck ass bitch. Suck.
Okay, so apparently this Shroud guy was bitching about Expedition 33, going, how are people thinking that's Game of the Year? This game, Arclight, is Game of the Year, right? So this guy got pissed at him and sent a comment, and this is what he said.
Hey, bro, Expedition 33's Game of the Year. Actually play the fucking
Arc
game
Raiders,
before
sorry.
berating it. Fuck ass bitch. Suck my balls.
Holy shit, that guy's mad.
I didn't even berate it. I didn't even berate it. I just think single-player games always win Game of the Year, and it's bullshit. Fucking, like, what, couple million people play that game? Cool, bro. Where's the tens of millions? Where's the Marvel Rivals, 50-plus million people? Fucking suck my dick.
And, it's opened up a discussion about should they break up multiplayer Game of the Year and make multiplayer Game of the Year as an award and single player. But again, there has to be a point. Yeah, Overwatch is the only multiplayer that is multiplayer centric, or only that I can think of, Carlos, that has won Game of the Year. But for the most part, it is the single player stuff. But I mean, I bang this drum all the time because it's almost like you guys are arguing over what has more nutritional value. You know, the French fries at McDonald's or the French fries at Arby's. It's like, dude, they're fast food French fries. If you're really worried about health and nutritional value, you're digging in the wrong place, right? The idea that the number of people that will vote for Expedition 33 who haven't even played it, it should be your concern. Or the idea that instead of just celebrating the awards for here are the best 10 games of the year, that is what the award should be. I get it. It's a good business model. People love competition. I get it. But what I don't get is when people take this in any way, shape, or form as a serious conversation about it should be single player. They should. Why? Why? It's meaningless. It means nothing. But here's what doesn't mean nothing. And here is the time. We're going to turn the phone on and off throughout the stream. I am going to turn it on right now. If you want to call in, let me just make sure we're all set up. And you can have your beautiful, brilliant, sexy opinion heard. If I'm on the phone with somebody, don't call in because you'll just go to voicemail. But, do what you got to do. Here's the number right here. Call in live now, 619-537-9279. We can talk about whatever you want, but ideally it'll be about the games that we're talking about today, but I don't give a shit, whatever you want to talk about. Lutron says, Jaffe, have you played Battlefield 6? It's one of the better released in some time. I played the beta, and I loved the first free beta weekend, and they did some tuning on the second.
Please stop. Please. You're going the river.
You're goddamn right. The second beta I didn't like, and so I kind of pulled away from it. But now I'm super into Arc Raiders, and I cannot wait for Call of Duty to come out this week. I'm a huge Call of Duty multiplayer fan, so I don't have any real plans, but I do hear it's great. Awesome Tatum, thank you for the super chat. He says, Jaffe can do what he wants, the rest can suck it. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. 619-537-9279. Here's what I want to know, chat. All these motherfuckers that are coming at me on Twitter about my joke, my funeral joke, why don't they ever call in? Why don't they ever fucking call in and say, oh, Well, let's have a conversation about it. You know why they don't call in, but if you have the stones and you have the phones, dial 619-537-9279, and let's move on down the road with that. I like, says Digital XP, how 70% of gamers are multiplayer only, and Shroud acts like it's a niche. I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying that why is it that and look, when I was on the DICE Award committee, I nominated and I voted for Angry Birds for Game of the Year. And people were like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? Angry Birds. And I'm like, dude, Angry Birds at the time, it wasn't Pac-Man, but it was, there had not been a video game that had hit the mainstream zeitgeist like that since something like Pac-Man, right? Shroud was basically saying the same thing. He's like, these games have tens of millions of people playing.
Please stop. Please. You're going the river.
And he's like, these have tens of millions of people playing these games. He's not saying they're niche. He's saying, why are you guys not acknowledging the importance, the cultural shifts that these games create? That's, I think, and I agree with him. Let's bring in this phone call here, then I'll get this super chat in just a second. All right, what's up? You're on with Jaffe. How's it going? Hello? We cannot hear you. Talk if you can.
Hey, hello?
Hey, man, how are you? Can you do me a test? Let me make sure people can hear you. Say something.
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just like, I was listening through my headphones.
Understood. Can you guys hear the caller? In the meantime, what's up, caller? What would you like to talk about today?
Yeah, so I was just listening. Like I was saying, I just finished watching the Sense Logic, by the way.
Hey,
and
man.
I just finished watching the State of Play.
Yes.
And as you were mentioning about the awards and how you gave it to Angry Birds 1 year, there was one particular award show, I'm forgetting which one, that actually gave it to Vampire Hunters, right? Because it was definitely one of those type of games that really...
Yeah, Vampire Hunters should have absolutely been a part of the discussion, and I'm glad that it was for a lot of people. It didn't win, but it was nominated a bunch, I think, if I remember.
Yeah, yes, it was, but in that particular, I'm forgetting which one. It may have been the BAFTAs, but
okay,
I'm not 100% sure. But that was definitely one of them that that actually won that year. And I remember seeing how everyone was surprised when they panned the camera to the audience, how surprised everyone was, because I think God of War Ragnarok was one of the big contenders that year. So
yeah, I mean, but I think, I mean, again, I understand that the idea of an award show, it's a horse race and people love that. And so I would not deny people the joy of that. But I think I would rather see people framing it like, yeah, it's really stupid, but it's the people that really take it serious. I just think that's goofy. I think if you really want to celebrate, especially if you're the DICE committee, which is supposed to be like the serious one, or Keeley, who claims his is supposed to be like the Oscars of video games, I think you would want to find a way to do it that really represents the best of the best. And you're not going to do that with this is the winner. You're going to do it with, hey, tune in and find out what your industry folks thought were the 10 best games that came out this year. People are watching it for the trailers anyway.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
And I know you have to go, but one thing, that just a quick idea I had,
Yes.
because you brought up how with the post, how a lot of the people who tend to want to criticize, like you said, you put up the call-in number and they never call.
They never call.
So what I would love to see you do, because like I said, I do host a podcast and I've tried to get the Smashes and the Yorches and all those guys that were just so loud on social media to say, let's have a conversation. Like the same way you have the call-in now, why don't you say to them, hey, listen, how about like a Smash or even a Grums?
Yeah, because I'm not interested. I've had Grums on before. I'm not interested in those people. Those people I can't trust. Those people are, in my opinion, playing characters. They will give you an opinion. They will put out videos. that are meant to get clicks and engagement without actually being a genuine take on a subject. So I'm more interested in some of these keyboard warriors that come at me, and it's like, okay, you don't have a YouTube channel. You don't make any money off insulting me for the most part. Let's have a conversation and see if we can have a meeting of the minds. I wouldn't. I've already talked to Smash JT. I would not give him the time of day. I think he's a piece of shit.
No, but once again, even better, what I would posit to them. But once again, they would never want to do with me because they don't. Like as the kids say, they don't want the smoke. But what a good idea, for example, would be like, hey, listen, how about you come on the show? You don't have to debate me per se, but I'll open the call-in line, and the caller just has one question and just speak to the gaming audience. Because that's why I always say to these guys, like, you guys are so vocal online, but when it comes to actually putting your premises to task, you guys always shy away.
Yeah, but the problem with that, though, is like, even if you saw the debate between Smash JT and Colin, depending on whoever is airing the show, their audience is going to, they'll support their guy, right? So if it was on your show, it would be not only, but a lot of it would be people who already agree with you. If it was on his show, you'd have people calling in and going, Sense Logic's a fucking moron, and they'd be doing it to get the kudos. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my thing with it. But all right, buddy, I appreciate the call. Thanks, man.
Yeah, as always, man. Good
right, see you, dude. Yeah, Awesome Tatum says Ball Pit is way better. I mean, I think that should absolutely be in the running. I'm trying to turn up my mic. Let me see. I mean, I think it's turned up all the way. I'll turn it up all the way there. But what I would say is, I mean, that should definitely be in the running. I think it probably will be in the running, but we'll see. Okay, let me turn the phone back on. If you want to call in, 619-537-9279. The phone is now taking calls. Let me know if now it's too loud. Okay, I can't win, boys. I can't win. All right, let's try that. Sorry. I tell you what, here's who Anna G, if you're watching, I'll trust you guys. Okay. Cause some people are trolling. So tell me if this is better. If this is better, I'm sticking with it. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Okay. Buzzati says it's perfect. Excellent. So there's that. Now I am excited for Call of Duty coming out this week. I was looking forward to the campaign end game, but now I learn it's co-op, and I don't want to play. I don't like playing Call of Duty co-op unless we're talking zombies, right? But it was kind of a neat, innovative thing, which is when you get through all 11, I think it's 11 co-op missions, then it kind of puts you and your buddy or your buddies into an open world that's still kind of tied into the narrative. It kind of reminds me of what Titanfall 1 was trying to do with the narrative-based multiplayer stuff. And I may play co-op just to see what that feels like. But the people that are talking about it online are pretty excited. I'm just fucking excited overall because I love the multiplayer. I found my DualSense, which means I can buy. I have like $700 worth of Call of Duty points that I obtained illegally. And I haven't been able to use them because I play on PC, but I realized I can buy a bunch of shit on PlayStation and then it'll transfer. The coins won't transfer, but the costumes and shit will transfer. So I'm excited for that. But that's coming out. M Machine, thank you for the super chat, says, fuck them all. We're all Xboxes, including this stream. Yeah. I want those people to call. I want to talk to somebody who's like, Jaffe, that is absolutely not appropriate. I'm like, what? I would like somebody to call in and tell me what wasn't appropriate about it. What the fuck wasn't appropriate about it? It was in bad taste, sure. But I wasn't insulting the man's dad. I wasn't insulting the man's grief. I was just making a joke about the picture that he publicly tweeted of his fucking father's funeral. And people act like I literally walked into an orphanage and shit in the mouths of every fucking baby. I don't know. And people go, why do you get so upset about it, Jaffe? Well, here's why. Here's why. Because it really makes you feel kind of lonely, man. It makes you go, when you're that outside of the status quo, you go, what the fuck? Am I just broken? You know, because I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is happening? I made a stupid, tasteless joke. That's it. It wasn't a racist joke. It wasn't a anti-religion specific joke. It was just a goddamn joke. Good Lord have mercy. I don't know what to tell you. 619-537-9279. Call me right now. Tell me what you're wearing. All right. Here's the thing about the Xbox tweet, says Tatum. It was nothing bad compared to most rage bait and political horseshit on a normal day. I agree. It was because you made it so the bat signal for your haters went up. Could have been that. Prince Green says, Jaffe, I still want you in chat to check out my comic concept I brought to life using AI. It's a pilot of a web series I'm developing. I'd love your opinion. Okay. You want to send it to me? Put the link in the chat or put it somewhere and we'll click it. We'll watch it together, but I'll give you my honest opinion on it. I mean, so I'm not going to be a dick about it, but if I don't like it or I think it's derivative, I'm going to tell you. So make sure it's ready to show. And again, it's just one man's opinion. What do I know? But while we're waiting, yeah, Darkness Within says God of War used to be edgy. Now it's politically correct. Look, I don't know anything. I love 2018's God of War. I don't know if politically correct is the term I would use for that game. I think the term, it felt more like it wanted. It felt like it, and I love 2018, so I'm not shitting on it, but it felt like it wanted to be perceived as more mature and more important, and look, we're not that anymore. And I just, I'm a big fan of kind of the C.S. Lewis response to when people always talk about immaturity, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, the most immature thing you can do is care about others perceiving you as mature. It felt a little bit about like that to me, but I still love the shit out of the 2018 game. Absolutely. Machine says, here's the thing. It was because it was an Xbox. It could have been that. I don't know. People accuse me of console warring, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Listen to this, though. Okay. I don't know. The only thing I can compare it to is when I was a kid, I got a box of honeycomb cereal, and I open it up, and it was like you can win one of three prizes. And the third place prize, it was a pirate's treasure box filled with games. Okay. And I was insanely excited for this. Like the box art on the back looked like an actual pirate treasure box and everything. I wait, and it comes in the mail, and the thing is it's like in a manila envelope, and it's just like a piece of cardboard little treasure box, and it's filled with single sheet, like, here's checkers, and you can punch out the checkers and play checkers and flip it over, and you can play a version of Trouble or Sorry or whatever. And I'm like, really? Right? But I was like 8. Okay. And you learn, and you grow up, and you learn. And even to that point, whoever Post Cereal sent everybody who won that a letter and said, oh, we're sorry about that. But I was 8 years old. But there's a point when you're as old as these people that are bamboozled over the Game Awards. This is a story talking about the future class. If you don't know what this is, the future class of the Game Awards is this thing where I'm getting into it now. Hello, Bluefire. It's this thing where I guess they somehow pick people based on who the fuck knows that you're gonna be our.
Please stop. Please. You're doing it again. You're going the river.
You're gonna be our future beacons of the industry, right? And I guess, and that gets you some I don't know, some access and it's all performative. The minute I saw them doing it, I'm like going, okay, this is some performative horse shit, but whatever. I don't have a problem with it, but I hope these kids, is what they are, aren't really thinking anybody gives a shit about them and that they're not just props. Well, here's some things that have come out now. We were effectively props, game producer Deanna Laura said, who was inducted into the first class. Once we got to the Game Awards, we showed up and it felt like we were pushed to the side door. We found out later Keeley had a party in another room with all the influencers and biz people. You know where the future class met? At a Starbucks. Yeah, because you're not really the future class. I hate to break it to you. The future class of the game industry are probably the people that are busy making video games and maybe has the Game Awards on in the background while they're trying to figure out why their code's not running. It's not a real thing. Listen to this. No one from official leadership even showed up until the meetup was basically over, somebody said who was part of it. We were pretty bummed about just being cast aside. What did you expect? Elsewhere, at the 2021 ceremony, Laura, community manager Natalie Checo, podcast host Khalif Adams, and other inductees' seats were behind one of the camera risers, obstructing their view. You're not actually VIPs. You're not actually VIPs. The final thing I'll say on this is future class inductees receive program perks for the next 12 months, a ticket to the Game Awards, access to career advancement opportunities. That's what was promised. Several people referred to the early career-focused events as chats with high-profile industry members such as Reggie Fils-Me, Phil Spencer, rather than proper mentorship programs. It felt like Keeley just called a bunch of his friends to do Zoom calls. It was inspiring, but that's really as far as it went. How far do you think it's going to go? Why don't you make some fucking games and then sell them and then people will call you? It's not. My issue is not the fact that they're upset. My issue is that they clearly thought this was something that exactly. Awesome Tatum. There it is. It's that kind of I just started this job, therefore I should be the manager mentality. It's like, dude, I don't know what to say. I can't handle it. I don't know where these kids get the assumption that this was going to be a real thing. Da Vinci, thank you for the super chat. He says, Happy Turkey Month, Jaffe. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Also, I appreciate you being a member for 11 months, almost a year, baby. And then we already did that one. Okay, good. All right, now, I don't know, Monodoro. Some people care. You know what they don't care about? Yeah, they thought, yeah, right. OA2 says they thought EA was going to give them $40 million to make an indie game. I mean, look, when I was young, if somebody would have told me, hey, you won a prize, you get to go meet with Steven Spielberg, I would have been insanely excited, but I would like to think somebody would have pulled me aside and been like, this is actually what it is. You're gonna be part of a meet and greet with 30 people. You get a minute to maybe ask them a few questions, and they usher you out with a gift bag, and that's it. But these kids act like what they thought this was exactly what you're saying. $40 million to make an indie game. Come on now. Let's not be crazy. Let's not be crazy and not call 619-537-9279. What are you, shy? What are you shy? Why are you shy? Get on the phone. Let's talk games. Listen to this in the chat. Darkness Within says gaming is run by non-gamers. I mean, that's semi-true. What is it, Ace? That's semi-true. It's not entirely true. There are executives at companies. Shuhei was one of them. Scott Rhodey at Sony is still one of them. That have a great deal of power and influence. And they are hardcore gamers. They are hard motherfucking core gamers. But certainly, though, with games costing as much as they do, sure. There's, it's bean counters. But that's like everything else, man. All right, what else do we got? I was going to talk about, this was something. This guy tweeted this image out. And he says, if you're over 30, you saw exactly what you saw. And this is not 9/11. This is somebody, he tweeted out, guys, I think my GPU might be broken. But this, if you were around with 9/11, this kind of looks like the Falling People, right? I mean, isn't that weird? And then somebody tweeted below, it's almost like a group trauma or a worldwide trauma. It's like, you know, people who weren't alive for it. Like, I'd show this to my kids, they probably wouldn't get it. But, you know, if you were alive for it, it traumatized the world. Fucking traumatized the world. So I just wanted to show that because I thought it was interesting. All right, 1 second. I don't know. Oh, look, Smash JT's on this. Oh, I didn't even know that. David are we done with the Jaffe mocking the dead with the thing? Do we care? Because we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. We can talk about other things. What do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about a psyop? It was not a psyop. It was probably an inside job, but that doesn't make it a psyop. What's up? It's Jaffe.
What's up, Jaffe? Dave Seeker. How are you?
I am very good. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for making me have flashbacks to 9/11. I really appreciate that.
I didn't do it. I was just, you know, turning on the
you were just sharing the information.
I'm sharing the news, baby. That's all I do. So what's going on?
Not too much. Just eating dinner before the wife gets home from a conference, and figured I'd give you a call.
What do you want to talk about?
So, first of all, what is the best indie game that you're playing right now?
What do you mean don't tell? Oh, I'll tell you in 1 second. What do you mean nobody tell them about the audio? Is it echoing? What's the problem? You guys tell me. You fucking tell me. God, these fuckers.
When I was listening to the stream before, it was fine.
Oh, I see. The volume goes down when answering calls. One day I will solve that, but not today. Let me fix that real quick, though. I can at least fix it. I guess we thought that was a Discord problem, but I guess not. Okay, what is the indie game I'm enjoying right now the most?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to consider Arc Raiders an indie game, so I would say a game called Gravelord, which is a boomer shooter where you play like a gravekeeper. You play a gravekeeper with a sort of mystical shovel, and it's kind of like a Victorian supernatural boomer shooter thing.
All right, is that on Steam?
It's on Steam, yes. It came out beginning of January, and it's excellent. It's fantastic.
Did you say Gravedigger?
Gravelord is what it's called.
Gravelord, okay. All right, I'm going to check that out then.
All right. Thanks.
All right, man. Thanks for the stream. Have a good one.
All right, buddy. You too. Thanks, man. All right, yeah. I don't know why this thing keeps dropping when someone calls in, because I used to think it was Discord. If anybody knows, let me know. But you can see what's happening right there. The volume on the microphone just kind of decides to step away. Valfaris. Yes, I have played Valfaris. And I liked it, but it was too hard. But then after that, he put out a shooter in the same universe. I forget what it was called, and I actually liked that a lot more. I thought that was a lot better. So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for next time, but that's the way it goes. Sorry, fellas. But if anybody is an audio engineer and they know what it could be, please let me know. I'll bring it up to 100. It'll drop right back down as soon as I answer this call. Hey, it's whoops, hang on. Hey, it's Jaffe. What's going on?
Hey, Jaffe, it's Spencer. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I caught most of the stream. I missed your state of play reactions.
Yes.
But had a question for you in case you had already gone over it. Just let me know.
Okay.
So I've been watching the reactions to the state of play, and myself, I thought it was kind of like, okay, it wasn't very good. It was definitely more of it could have been an email versus worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, I thought I was sort of surprised about, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about the fact that one of the reasons I think people are disappointed about it was by a clear lack of, like, So for me, this felt like 100% PlayStation Japan made this.
Sure.
For better or for worse.
I mean,
but
it was supposed to. It was supposed to be that, right? It was meant to be that.
Yes, which is kind of funny because it's like, I don't know, and I mean, yeah, it's the vague thing of it being like state of plays can be big, they can be small, but at the same time, it's like I don't think most people realize in 2025 that PlayStation Japan is not even 1/10 of what it used to be 10 years ago, and it's kind of like weird in that like Sony's in that weird spot where it's like, yeah, they can't really pitch this as a lesser than like the way Nintendo might be like a, hey, here's a Nintendo Direct, here's a partner Direct, and then here's like an indie spotlight of like, what would be the better? What do you think would be the better way to communicate to people online to be like, hey, this is from our partners over in Sony Japan and all of their like, there will be stuff for worldwide audiences, obviously, but it's like they can't just be like, hey, no Final Fantasy, no Kingdom Hearts, don't expect anything that crazy outside of like Elden Ring DLC.
I mean, I think that potentially gets a little tricky only because there are contractual. Yeah, look at that audio. There are contractual obligations, and they may where it's like, okay, you can publish my game, but you have to promote it in these various ways. And if they're like, if they have a practice that allows them to promote it in a way that makes it like, oh, you'll be on the lesser show, like the one where we tell people to watch their expectations, that could be a problem. I think the bigger issue is really an issue about just how much a certain generation of gamers are trying to get expectations met that they've been used to for the last 15 years, which is the E3s and the big shows. And, you know, we still have those memories of those wonderful reveals and those magical shows and those, you know, and it's really not that anymore at the level of first party or AAA games. And I think to me, that's really what's happening, because I agree. I didn't think it was a very good show at all. Nothing really excited me, but I think nothing was wrong with it. And it's not going to make people who were going to buy a PlayStation not buy a PlayStation. But I think a lot of it is a generation that came up with the big reveals are kind of like, they're missing that. And they keep holding out hope every time one of these things is announced that they're going to get that. And those days, I think, are just gone.
Yeah, and what's even kind of more funny and then brings home the point of kind of what you were saying, but even about the whole vibe of the state of play in general, it's too bad they couldn't have almost warned everyone when they announced it yesterday to be like, hey, at the end of the day, this was, and I know all kind of like trailer showcases are all basically just us watching commercials, but more than anything, this state of play was so weird of like, this felt like the most niche state of play in the sense of, this is for people in Japan who may have a PS4, may only have a Switch, or just don't have a PS5. And it's like, we're going to try and sell this to people in Japan who don't have a PS5. And nothing kind of cemented that more by just ending it, not even with a game, by just being like, great news, Japan, here's this cheaper PS5, which is a great idea in the sense of like getting more people to buy it. But it's like, it's just such a weird note to end it on that it's like it almost even kind of cemented us into, okay, we're just in glorified infomercial territory at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I think anybody who's gaming on console, I think the best place to game on console, if you really want that kind of experience that you used to have, and I mentioned this at the top of the show, is if you go to Nintendo gift guide. It feels, again, you gotta give them props. This is a game that they came out with their system less than a year ago, and there's already like 7 or 8 first party, pretty big games available for it, and you can only play them on the Switch too. So, to their credit, there is a market out there being served by one of these companies for sure, but PlayStation, I mean, even the fact that some of the games they showed today, I just found out that like one that looked pretty good has already been on Steam for 2 years almost. And they were announcing it like, hey, isn't this great? So I think just it's changed so much, and a lot of people have not really been comfortable with that, and I've been okay with it because I play a lot of different things. But if you're only a console guy, I could see why you're feeling like you've been abandoned.
Oh, yeah. Last one I wanted to pick your brain for with the show.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the host? I thought it was a really interesting mix because one of the big things Sony, especially in the West, has been really guilty of like not wanting to kind of have like a personality there. And I thought it was interesting of having a host, specifically a non-PlayStation employee, like a pretty big but not enormously big and expensive voice actor was a good call of like, hey, people are going to recognize this guy in Japan. And even from someone who is moderately aware of who the performer was, I was like, hey, this was good because not only was it nice to sort of have a face throughout the whole show, but even those few moments where they talked to the developers like Koei Tecmo, like the producers of like Tokon and stuff. Like, what did you think of the host format added to this? Because I thought that was at least an interesting twist that they brought to this that other state of plays don't have.
Well, it's really interesting because, I mean, I usually hate these shows with hosts. I mean, every now and then Nintendo did something in the past, like where they had Miyamoto and Reggie and Iwata as puppets. Okay, I'm watching that. That's cool, right? It's just different. But for the most part, that's really not what we get. And any of these shows that have hosts, I can't skip these guys fast enough because, but not that they're bad, but because it's like, that's not why I'm watching this. And there are shows that just go trailer after trailer after trailer. But the problem with those is that after about the first 8 to 10 trailers, you just start getting numb. And it's like, no matter how good the trailers are, everything starts to just blend together, right? And so I think really, if you want to deconstruct it, E3 is no longer relevant. But I even think some of these showcases are no longer relevant. The way people consume and get trailers now, I don't think the idea of putting them all into a giant, 2-hour show is the best way to showcase your game, because 90% of what they show, no one's going to remember. I can barely remember what they showed today, and I just fucking watched the thing. So I think if you've got a game you want to promote, the best thing you can do is, be in a show. Why not? It's not going to hurt, but make sure that you've got your own slot separate from all of that shit. So you can own the news cycle, at least for an afternoon, is what I would say.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Well,
cool, man. Thanks for the call.
Taking the call, man.
Anytime. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks, bud.
See you.
All right. Hey, JSD, thank you so much for the super chat. Very, very much appreciate that and all the support you show this channel. Mickey Doe, thank you for the super chat. He says, Jaffe, people don't like your joke because of the Xbox tax. That has to be and I don't know if I got this one from Da Vinci. Happy Turkey Month. Thank you, buddy. I think I did. But thank you as well. You as well. It's got to be some of that. My audio is up to fucking 94, man. And now it's up to 100. I don't know what else to do. I really don't know what else to do. Let me just turn off the calls for the rest of the day, because that's clearly wreaking some havoc. We'll just go to normal chats. I don't want to annoy you guys with that. Here we go. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Yeah, tech is on point. That's right. Well, okay. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I hear you, Eddie T. I know. But I don't know what I was saying. I've lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Okay. Tell you about Arc Raiders. I can tell you it's fucking awesome. I can tell you, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but what I will say is, it is one of those games that reminds me of Blizzard when they were in their heyday, when it comes to taking something that is very popular, but not niche, but it's kind of very hardcore, and sanding off the rough edges and making it much more accessible. It is fun right out the goddamn gate. I just love it, and I find myself going back to it over and over and over. You might be losing your mind now, because I don't think the audio has gone down. I think we're now at a state of normalcy. But no, it's still at 84. But I don't know, if there's anything specific, but I can tell you it has taken up all my gaming time. I'm still playing a little Marvel Snap, but I'm playing the shit out of it right now because I really fucking love it. So, okay. Now listen, I want to look at this for a moment. I don't want to watch I don't like to do a lot of react videos, but I gotta see. Well, okay. If you guys want to, let me. One's in the chat if we want to stop talking about the "This is an Xbox funeral" because I don't want to bore you guys ever, and that's not what But this is a video that I saw on my YouTube, and it was like it mentioned me, and it said Jaffe mocks the dead, which I didn't, and so I'm curious, but I can kind of watch it on my own, right? The other thing is I do want to look briefly at this Smash JT video because Sony comes out with 3.3 million sold and of Ghost of Yotei, and he still is going, oh, see, look at this, oof, it's a bomb, and I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? 3.3 million in a month is pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking good. Yeah, okay, all right. Watch the Yotei thing first. It's really long, but we'll just skim through it. Let's see what we got here, boys.
Which talks about how the source is. Wario64 on X says PlayStation 5 has shipped 84.2 million units worldwide.
I really
Ghost
hate
of
this
Yotei
guy.
has sold 3.3 million units.
I don't know
And
why.
links to Gematsu, which talks about how the source is coming from Sony themselves and their financial results. And I know just right off the bat, the people that are going to be watching this video are going to be like, what is this, a win? Is this a loss? Is Smash?
No, we're not asking if it's a win or if it's a loss. We're telling you it's a fucking win, moron. By the way, JSD, welcome to Diet Soda Soldiers. Welcome back. We appreciate it, buddy, very, very much. Thanks, bud. All right.
Going to take the L because Colin was right and all this XYZ because, oh my God, 3.3 million units sold.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Is a lot of units sold. It is, like, genuinely, it is a lot sold. But at the same time, there is a double-edged sword when it comes to that.
Oh, here we go.
And we have Colin Moriarty. There he is. He just posted, oh, what's that? 3.3 million copies have sold. So it looks like Colin's trying to take a victory lap on this.
The vacuum? Through a vacuum?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You have to look at this through a vacuum to take a W. Anyway,
you do. And no, it's fine. And I want to be clear about this because this is not cope. This is actually exactly what I said was going to happen.
Oh, no.
So and I'm sure you'd agree with this too. We're not surprised at this. This is literally what we were saying. I mean, right?
Right. Yeah. Before it ever released, I'm like, okay, it's gonna do okay, and it's gonna fail in the end. Like as far as like reaching Tsushima number, it's not gonna touch it. And you have a second game releasing. You've decided to change the main character. Well, I mean, this is the risk you're gonna take. And
I don't understand. I know I do. I do understand. They're in a business, and business is good because they're not serious people. Ghost of Tsushima, there were so many more pieces of hardware to play Ghost of Tsushima on when it went on sale because it was much, much later in the PS4's life cycle than when this went on sale in the PS5 life cycle. That I'm not even going to watch the rest of this because they have an agenda, which I don't even understand. You motherfuckers didn't work on the game. Even if it was the biggest flop or the biggest success in the world, who gives a shit? What do you care, you fucking morons? What do you think about it? I hear it's a great fucking game. You fucking idiots. Okay. You Fucking idiots. Yeah, they're talking about it like they're 8-year-olds. There's over 80 million PS5s. Don't cap, Jaffe, says Wayne. I'm not capping. What I'm saying is the number of PS4s that were out there were meaningfully more when that game came out, and they were also probably cheaper, the game itself, when this came out. But I don't understand what... But again, let's just assume for the moment everything... Smash, here's the deal. You're never going to be invited to work as a game analyst. You're too dumb, in my opinion. Okay, so what are you fighting for? Let it go. But you're right, he's playing to his audience. You're playing to his audience, and I get that, Mutemo. And again, it's good business. It's like going into McDonald's and they stopped serving French fries and now they're serving, kale. It's not good business. But it's fun to look at it from the outside and go, either like his wife is fucking him because she's like, dude, I know you play a moron on the TV screen, but you making us a lot of money and I appreciate it, and I'm gonna suck that day. This is what I'm, either that or it's pity fucking because she's like, you're so stupid. I can't imagine you'll figure out how to live for another year, and I'm gonna at least give you some sex. I don't know what's happening with him, but I look at him now and all I see is Ben Stiller with doing Simple Jack in Tropic Thunder. That's all I fucking see. I've never met somebody who seems so goddamn stupid who's not playing a character. But maybe he's smart. I don't know. He's making more money than I am, so maybe, he's got shit figured out. Let's go to this one. This is a much shorter clip. I'm not reading that in machine.
His surroundings that they can say what they can try to mandate what you can say and what you cannot say, but nobody can do that to them. Nobody. You cannot go and say, okay, so this is not okay, but for you this is okay. Yeah, there is it.
Absolute double standards.
It's such a.
When have I ever said you can't say whatever the fuck you want to say? Say you have my support to say whatever you want to say, even to come onto your show and lie about something I said. When did I ever say you can't say anything? I am the most passionate, staunch First Amendment defender you're going to find.
Double standard. It's such a double standard. It's such a dishonest behavior, and it's even enhanced because he's always getting very angry, very disgruntled and stuff like that. Oh, but they're saying all these horrible things. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? And what is he saying? And then he makes that joke. Which, let's be honest, in a more normal world, like in a more friendly world, this could have been what he later tried to explain that it's just a dumb joke. Yeah, you could have probably passed that on, but that's...
No. I'd step in and say, in this world, he could do that, except for he is someone who his past precedes him, and he's someone that takes offense to trans jokes and draws lines where you're allowed to make humor and where you're not.
No, I will pay this guy $100 right now on PayPal if he can show me anywhere on the planet where I've said you're not allowed to make any joke. You can make the most hideous, awful, offensive joke about Christians, Jews, trans people, black people, agnostic people like me all day long. And I will support your right to do that without being sent to jail, because you have a right to express your views no matter what I think about them. There is absolutely no evidence that these guys can find. But again, what am I talking about? Look, it's a council of morons. It's Peter Jackson's new film, The Fellowship of the Idiots. There's got to be what? Can you imagine if these guys went out to try to go on a mission together? I don't think they'd make it out of the front fucking yard, is what I think would happen. They'd just, what do you mean? I don't know how to get down the street. What do you mean we walk? What's that? It's like baby steps or something. Fucking moron. I don't even want to watch the rest. I was excited to watch it and make fun of it. Now I'm just pissed. Because I'm like, when have I ever said that? When have I ever said you can't make jokes? That Smash TV guy, Smash JT, whatever the fuck his name is, put up a tweet from a guy that said all trans ideology should be wiped off the face of the earth. He has a right to say it. He has a right to retweet it. All I said was I will never speak with him again. Because if you're supporting that kind of shit, I think you're a vile human being, which is my right. But I wouldn't take away his right to say it. Idiots. Why are there such stupid people in the world? All right, here's the question. What time we got? Your game debut is Mickey Mania. Well, as a designer, yes. I think what I'll do is I'll play some Arc Raiders online tonight, possibly. If I do, and you want to team up and go on a couple runs with me, you have to be a member of the channel, but we would love your membership. We would love for you to subscribe to the channel. We'd love your super chats. It would be great. We will be back later in the week, obviously, with more streams. We will be back tomorrow with...
J.S. Dylan Schneider super chatted $99.99. Close to it, but here be funding if needed.
Thank you very, very much, JSD. That is staggeringly generous, buddy. Thank you so much for that, man. That's crazy generous. Thanks, man. Wow. I don't know what to say. That's a lot of money. Thank you so much, JSD, for all the support. Astro 911. Look what JSD just did. See, I'm folding him into the... he's whining and dining me. Oh, shit. I don't know what he wants. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, JSD. And Astro, welcome to the Diet Soda Soldiers. If you want to play with us tonight, I will definitely be playing with people. I probably am going to be playing it tonight. I'll be streaming it on this channel. The runs don't last that long, so... You know, I can guarantee if you're a member, we'll get you into one run, maybe more. But I'm loving it, and I can't wait to play more. I'm addicted to it at this point. So, but thank you for that. What do you mean have fun on those online games, Mutant Mo? You're not going to play Arc Raiders? It's on everything. It's cross-play on all the systems, except, mobile. It's great. Again, I'm not... And here's the thing. I saw somebody the other day tweeting that the Twitter algorithm seems to be getting better for people, where it really...
Buddy, please stop. Please. You're going the river.
Okay, you just like single player. What I will say about it is that, I mean, I'm with you for the most part. But when it comes to this game, it really does scratch an itch. It feels like you're kind of playing a little bit of Days Gone again. But I hear you. That's fair. You said in Discord you'll do the Fuck a Fan contest, says KP. I said, yeah, but the money has to be staggering. It was like a huge amount of money. It wasn't like $5, but I love your $5. Thank you so much for that. So... All right, fellas, that has been the show, which right now I'm calling Good Morning Gaming. I might go back to Gabbin and Games. I don't know, but it's the show where we talk about games. There's a brand new video if you're interested in more of my take on Arc Riders on this channel. I would appreciate you at least trying to watch it, see what you think. Looking forward to your comments and your views on that. Let me know if it's good. In the meantime, thank you, KP. Appreciate that very much, buddy. Let's talk about how Mo's not a member. Hey, man, I will never not member shame people. If he wants to be a member, he wants to be a member. Maybe he can't afford it. Maybe he doesn't think it's worth his money. I don't care. I care only in that I want to know what I can do better. All right, but that's the show for tonight. Again, JSD, let me go to the top fans of the night. I think this thing's still up here. Here we go. These are people who chatted a lot, who spent money, who really just contributed to our little shenanigans. Number 13, Jay Styles. Number 12, Mutant Mo. Matt Montedero's number 11. Number 10 is Witch X. Number 9, our very own Anna G. Number 8, Low Cozy AI. Number 7 is Frank Last, of course. Number 6, Da Vinci. Number 5 is the man who turns me on to some of the coolest games out there that I would miss otherwise, Awesome Tatum. Number 4, Good Sir Mickey Doe. Number 3, Machine 88 of the Cincinnati 88s. Number 2, K Projections. Very good family, the Projections. And of course, Big Bad number 1, JSD, coming in hot with that very generous super chat. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. All right, in the meantime, in the meantime, be well, be safe, and I hope to see some of you guys online tonight when we stream Arc Raiders, but that is all we got for now. I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.